What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? I say what's up, everybody? How you doing? Where you doing? Who you doing with? Yeah, man. Blow your 007. What's happening? You know what it is. I'm back with it. It's been long. It's been right over a month, considering the fact that I've been playing Iron Order 1919 and I've stopped playing Supremacy 1914. Moved over to Iron Order. It was more uh, sort of modern from 1914 to 1919. Is it 1814 that it was Supremacy? Anyway, so I've been playing this for well over a month now. 255 hours spent on this, and I figured, you know what? I think it's uh, a good time to actually give my views in terms of the game, maybe some tips and tricks and all the little trinkets. Without any further ado, you know how I do. Let's jump into this. Jump into a new gameplay here. What I love to do is really sort of get a full game that I can actually play until its completion and then upload it, and that's what you should be seeing. If I can't, then I'll get like 15, 20, maybe 30 minutes of tips and tricks, particularly when it comes to new games. So what I've been doing is that I've been playing a lot of, for the past month, really trying to balance my early game in terms of what one should be doing in the first week or two of the game, and because what I've encountered is a lot of struggle with AI more than PvP. AI tends to get really aggressive, especially if you're pushing very heavily in terms of land occupation. So I've been really trying to balance that out on early game. So I might focus on getting out I might upload something within an early game perspective in terms of what I've learned and what you should try out for yourself, or you might be getting something of maybe an hour full of maybe 2-3 weeks of gameplay. 4 times speed game is what I've been playing and I'm really enjoying that. Alright, so I'm thinking in jumping in over to the Americas. It offers relatively small map. Secondly, there might be a lot of players in, very few AI. Thirdly, I don't think there's coalition, so diplomacy will be very strategic, and as well as most probably betrayals will be involved here. Because in order for you to really get the map closed up, you need quite significant amount of land. So if you don't have coalition where you guys can share the map or share the land and build points collectively, then yeah. Wow, as we jump in here, we see quite a significant part of lands have been already taken. I'm thinking of going right straight up to Great Plains Conference, Confederace, but at the same time, I like these nobles. So in the game, you have different factions. You got nobles, capitalists, and communists. I haven't really played communists at all, basically at all, but I've been focusing on the nobles as they have a heavy mech on a level 2 factory. So I like also New England Republic, considering the fact that I can dive into the ocean also real quick here and really have some presence in the sea. Quite important to have that, but let's do it with Mexico. Okay, all right, here we are. Hopefully the sound does not overpower me here. Just to be on the safe side, I think I should be turning off that toggle so that I can be heard very well. So one, for you to, so let me just advise you, all right? So for you to have troops that last long. Okay. Um, you need to be engaging on the game, all right? Like seriously engaging. And for you to be engaging, it means you'll be building planes, specifically bombers. Those guys are going to definitely help you when it comes to the survivability of your troops. They won't die quick. All right. So if you see here, this guy here named Overlord Ship, that green thing means that is a player. All right. And as you can see here, I think it's Cascadia. That there is not a player, that's AI. Right here in the Dutch, that's the player. Right above me also it's a player. Texas player. Next door to me a player. A lot of players, right? And so I have run to piece of land that I can acquire real quick, and that will bring me close to Cascadia. Oh, also have Alberta there, and heading up north all the way there. Those aren't players, those are AIs. So I would really love to get in here and acquire this city. The city has 10 points. Right above the smiley face there's a badge there. As that's the 10 points. Now 10 points right at top here where you see 9 here. It feeds into this particular thing here. Your points add up. So for this whole game to be completed, I need to have 819 points, and then from there the game concludes. Whoever has that wins, and whoever follows that, then they rank accordingly. All right, rank 1, 2, 3, 4, and you get gold as a reward for whatever your ranking is. Okay, so let's go right ahead, acquire that piece of land. But also I'm noticing that my closest neighbor here also has a land, a city there. All right, so quite important to note. I think it'll be very much important for me to actually look into acquiring my nearest neighbor here and then push upwards, because that's a big piece of land to actually close up. So let's do that. Let me show you the format real quick here, but it's gonna take hours to put them together into perspective, so it's gonna take at least 5 hours. If you look at the top of the page here, you'll see there's a calendar there. Let me just close this thing up. It says the next day is within 4 hours. That's 4 hours within the game speed. All right, not in real time. Yes, the hours is indeed 4 hours, but then the game considers that a day in itself, right? So it would have been 4 hours for me, and yet still not a complete day for me, but for the game that would be 1 day. And then that's how she rolls, right? So let's move these players up and about, and then let's get to work with creating troops. Let's go. All right, so what we got movement. All right, so you've got movement. We've got the 4th artillery team here, brigade. It's got 2 infantry, 1 artillery, and I'm gonna send them right up here. They are going to meet with my light tanks and another group of infantry, and this light tank will be joining them shortly over there. And then in the middle here I've got my medium it's not a medium tank, yeah, it's a medium mech. All right, this dude right here, medium mech. So he'll be coming right here in the spot at Flagstaff. So I'm planning on hitting this particular continent or country in 2 places. My mech tank, or tank mech, or hunter, it's a tank, so he'll be coming here, he'll be joined by these two infantry groups. What happens is that if you were to take a lot of bunch of infantry, they can actually kill the mech, the hunter. A lot of infantry, they can kill that. So you would, quite importantly, join the what you call the hunter with the medium mech to reduce damage from infantries, as this guy would do a lot of damage from to infantry. They're moving into their significant places, planning an attack there. The tanks are going to join up with the artillery to save that. So artillery is very good. Artillery, it's very good in the sense that you can actually set your troops into, you can actually put them in a sequence. Like as you can see, there's a line heading up to that particular area there where they're going to be joining up, and you can actually send them on course. So what the artillery does is that as you click on it, hopefully I have yeah, as you click on it, you go to fire control, and then you go to offensive. It says start bombing enemy armies in range, even if the execution of other orders has to be deferred. All right, that's very good. So you set that on. All right, click that, keep it on, and you send your troops off. So the artillery, once they meet enemies in range, as you can see the range that that thing has, once the enemy gets into range, they start firing. So the further your troops are, yet still doing a lot of damage, that's good. All right, that keeps them safe. They engaging the enemy, hitting them as hard as they can from a distance. Now the problem is this, is that if you are engaging an AI, the AI will automatically send infantry into engaging militia or whatever you're engaging. The AI will send something towards your artillery to shut it down, right? So that is why you want to fuse that with, you know, a good group of your troops. Now this group that will be joining up in Los Crusade, this group then is the group that will be supporting my main group. The main group will be fused with my medium mech, the hunter. So it's gonna be double hunter, double medium mech, and then it's gonna be double the heavy mech, which is what we're going to be taking out from a second barracks on the third day. You will be seeing that soon. That's a very strong team. That team is put in charge into taking all the cities, while the light team here with the tanks, they are in charge in taking down the small provinces here. They're normally occupied by just one single militia or infantry, and they're in charge in just cleaning up the map and helping out in certain cities. They will join up with the hunter. You'll see how I do this. You'll see how I do this. So without any further ado, let's begin our construction. All right, there's something I want to incorporate here, which is power plant. All right, the power plant speeds up your production. Once you have that running, it's going to help you to produce your troops quite quickly. You know, you can cover some hours. I'm not going to start with it because I don't need it now. What I'm going to start with though is my airplanes. All right, and it's going to take a minute or two. While that is running, I'm going to do a research here to unlock my bombers. All right, that's aircraft, and I'll unlock the bombers, and there we go. Now for production sake, I really like to go with 3 planes. All right, like 1 2 3, but to save on troops and as well as resources so that I can get a lot of production going, I'm just gonna go with 2 bombers. All right, next to it I'm going to be producing foundry. that is going to be producing for us the artillery weapons, long range, very very important. So these guys right here, they be coming out of this particular facility. One thing is important for me, has to go is scout mech. That one is very important. So I'm going to be having a scout mech, 2 scout mechs out. Okay, well, I'm producing 1. The game already gives you 1 scout mech, and I think is somewhere within these big guys here. Yeah, here's a scout mech there. Hence I'm able to see exactly what's going on here. So that scout mech is going to be running somewhere within the middle here to provide the view as to who's who in the zoo. All right, and in fact, let's get that ready, and just for me to understand if I should be switching the mech, the hunter with the thing. You want the hunter to meet the hunter and stuff, and you want the medium mech to meet with infantry so that he can do a lot of damage there. All right, so sweet. So what we're gonna have now is the production of artillery. Have to research that, it's not gonna take long, together with the medium mech. All right, so we are producing an artillery followed by a scout followed by another artillery thereafter. What we have is that what we were producing mechs is planes. They will then watch over the team. What we're sending out first is the planes, and what will follow after that is the artillery, and then comes in the ground, militia or infantry, tanks, and the likes. Now, while that is running, we're going to also have our presence in the sea. And in fact, I need all 3 navals here. 1, I need to produce a destroyer. This guy helps to protect the sea bombers. They call them dreadnoughts. Yeah, dreadnoughts. All right, those are your long-range naval guns, kind of like artillery. All right, support. But the destroyers, when defending, they can destroy submarines. They do 12.9 damage to submarines. It's ridiculous. When they're defending, just sitting and waiting there for a submarine to come and attack it, the submarine is gonna die. Alright, so I need like 1 of that, maybe 2. And then I do also need a submarine. The submarine can destroy your dreadnoughts, and it can destroy any troops that are trying to cross over from one place to the next using, of course, traveling from sea. So they do 11.5 damage when attacking to ships. All right, and that again is dreadnoughts and other submarines, perhaps dreadnoughts particularly, and troops passing through the sea. All right, submarines are the best in that. And just those 3 for me, it's quite enough. The Leviathan, on the other hand, is something quite complicated. It's due to us to destroy submarines by attacking them, but I find them pretty weak when it comes to destroyers. Like, destroyers can destroy these guys for some reason, like I don't know. Anyway, this thing says so when it's submerged, it can destroy submarines, and then when it's immersed meaning it's not underneath, it's up, it does decent damage, I believe, from a distance. Attack range is 75, and here's 0. Yeah, attack range 75, can do a damage from a distance to ordinary ships. 10.4 is quite significant. So one might say, why are you not producing a Leviathan in the space of a dreadnought, right? Wherein then in the space of a destroyer, where you can submerge it and then be able to defend yourself from submarines. So the thing is, it's costly and it requires a level 3 naval yard, and that costs a lot of resources, particularly for early game. So these first 3 guys here are quite significant, but because I'm defending and I'm going on land much, I'm going to be researching the destroyer, and I'm also going to research the sub. That's it. I have 1.3 resources left. Oh, sorry, I have 1.4 resources left, and the dreadnought requires 1.3. I can research it, but the problem is this. I am not going to be firing from the sea anytime soon, because where I'm going is quite inland, so I need troops inland rather than anything else. All right, so for defending, those guys will do just fine. All right, so I think we already have one. What you're gonna do now is we're gonna be producing a destroyer. Okay, this guy is gonna help on defense, and I think I'm gonna be producing 2 destroyers, and I think I'm going to also be producing 2 submarines, but we'll see. So for now, I'm just gonna put them in significant places. One is gonna guard here because it is a city, and the other destroyer is gonna guard that because that's also a city. One might be wondering why you're not producing what you're constructing defenses. Take a lot of resources, and yeah, you just take a lot of resources. Now let's dive into the resources and check what's happening here. Food, I'm producing 1.76 food. Oil 328, this is good. Energy 336, this is good. 190 on that. 204 of metals, that's good. And that's the crying one, 53. This one you need to really feed, because you need troops coming out, right? You can have a lot of resources, but if you don't have proper man count, you're going to be struggling with that. You can produce what is called offices, which is recruitment office. This building here, you can only recruit it in a city. This recruitment office produces manpower, so it's kind of like it's a facility that welcomes people from other countries and make them citizens, and then those people end up being your soldiers. That's how I see it, at least. You produce that on your cities, and then it improves the production of manpower in that city. The more your moral increases in your city, the faster the production, so you might also want to be interested in that. So producing things like fortresses will really improve that. That's 5%. And then railroads will give you a good amount of morale on your city, and that will increase production. That will help with speeding up things. So I'm gonna go here in Tucson. All right, I'm gonna say construction. I want to improve industry. As you can see, industry takes on my rare material, this item here, which I need for what? Research and upgrading troops. But if I can quickly increase the hourly production, I might be on the safe side, isn't it? Good. So industry will be running here to improve that, but also I want at the same time for my recruitment office to also increase, so that I can have a significant number of troops of manpower actually coming in. So now let's look into the news report, right? News report. Day one. Just gonna start right at the bottom here. Let's see. All right, so everything is happening and taking place on the south so far. I'm not seeing anything from the north here. Yeah, Chile should be falling in the hands of Argentina there, I believe. All right, and that's about it. So nothing happening on the northern hemisphere here. Nothing really taking place so far. Everyone is just sitting tight in this part. So that's good to know. That is good to know. All right, guys. So as you can see, a couple of hours have passed. About 3 hours have passed already, and we've got ourselves two destroyers. Moving this one right over here to protect this particular city, and I've got them on offensive, aggressive. Start bombarding any neutral or enemy army in range, even if the execution of other orders has to be deferred. So good improvement. Let's also look at some of this here. As you can see, we have moved now. Our raw materials now is running on 224 an hour, and we've moved from 53 manpower to 60, and that's just on that one particular recruitment office that is running, I believe, here. So now in terms of lineup, we have our two bombers here that are ready, and like I said, I think I'm going to need to produce one last bomber to really get things up here, but pretty low on food, so we'll hold up on that. And I've also split the tank here. I've also split the tank there. This is because this particular land is just simply filled with infantry, so this infantry can be taken up by these particular guys, but we're not going to be doing that. And I've moved these guys and brought them here. The reason why we're going to be doing that, or we want to do that, it's because of the following. Okay, so that is in range of that, so I'm gonna go right ahead and do a surprise attack. Boom. And this guy also is gonna attack that, and then we're gonna send our airplane here to join on that particular attack. Speed things up here real quick. Speed things up. Yeah, a lot of energy and manpower will be improved. Manpower is good, energy is alright, but of course we need more effective lands that we need to acquire in order for us to do a better job. And we might need to attack someone that has long distant thing. But another strategy here is that you can just wait for your neighbors to engage one another in battle. That way, once they have hurt one another, you can come through and finish off whoever is left as the survivor. They should have pretty damaged troops, of course, counting on the fact that they would have engaged with their troops right head on. Should have about 15, 16, is it? And there we go, 10.9. So what happens is this, is that once you the first engage that you have with your enemy, particularly with artillery, it's that it's kind of like the first release of the bombs, right? They are sent out and they hit, and then from there it takes 15 minutes for them to reload the guns and then fire off again. That's how that baby works. All right, so this particular enemy here has been destroyed. That militia that was here was destroyed. So now I'm moving these guys in to grab hold of that facility there, that province, Window Rock. And these guys here are now engaged with the militia at Cortez, while the bomber is going for the city of Aztec. And there's something also that I need to advise you. This is AI, right? So in order for you to check if it's AI, you go to diplomacy, and right here, just underneath the reveal on map, there should be a envelope. If it's a player, if it's not a player, it won't have anything there. So I'll show you just now with this player here, and as you can see, you can actually look at the information and data of the particular player, and we can see that this guy has joined one game, which is this particular game. He's at level 9, and this guy has very heavy units because he's a new player, and the game gives new players advanced units for them to have an advantage. Alright, so the bombers have struck the infantry here, and I think it's the militia that is charging us now. Yeah, the militia in I'm saying militia as this particular unit is called militia. They are charging now. The aim is to go to the airfield where this particular bomber came from and destroy it so that the bombers can stop firing. That's what that means there. Alright, so as the militia is approaching, what we want to do is make sure our guys are ready to fire at the militia. I'm not sure why they haven't started yet, or they have. Alright, so they have started firing. Another thing that happens is this, is that the more the damage your units get, the slower they become, and the less damage they can give out. You see, so that is why now it's very much important to be building artillery and as well as bombers that are able to get to your targets as far as they are, do significant damage when they get there, so that the approach of your enemy towards your troops is very slow. It's slowed basically. 2, by the time they get close to your troops, they then get targeted by your artillery, which would then significantly slower again their approach. And should they get to your units, they then can get one shot destroyed because they're getting there with very low HP, as we can see now. Unit. Now their current speed is 85. It is boosted by the fact that they are in their own land, and so when you're in your own land, you have speed boost, and depending also on your land, you might also get an protection boost. As you can see below, their every damage has been reduced to 0, their speed reduced to 64, and they still get that protection of 20% because they are in their own land. Now with that, they're going to get to my troops here, dead, because the attack that will be coming out in the next 46 seconds should destroy them altogether. And while that is set to happen, we can change the target of the bombers. So this particular what do you call it, it's not gameplay, but the way in which I'm attacking this is full-on engagement. I'm watching this as it unfolds. So I'm gonna show you now the engagement that I do when I go to sleep. So when that happens, it's gonna depend less on bombers and more on the artillery, because of course the bombers, you have to tell them what to shoot next, right? And once they're done shooting that target, they just sit there and wait for the next what you call the next order. Okay, as you can see, the guy is dead. So this is what I mean by course, setting a course. All right, so we set a course like this. Okay, and looks like they are charging in as that artillery just struck them. They're like, oh wait a minute, you're not supposed to be doing that. And we're gonna set a course to here for those guys. Okay, so they know where they need to go. However, because of fire control, they stop and they engage the immediate target that the artillery is able to pinpoint. They fire at it, and if the target remains stationary, like this guy at Cortez here, that's good. That's very good. We need that. We don't want them affecting our infantry or any of our units at all, particularly in the early game, especially with AI. We don't want it touching our units. Now, I have been paying attention to this guy here, and I realize now that he has beefed up that particular unit there. It was 3. It was 2 infantry and 1 light tank. Now he brought his tank here. I think of course he is getting ready to attack. He doesn't have a scout there, so I don't think he's aware as to what's happening. Let me just look. Maybe he's looking at the news. Let's just gauge him up. 16. He's fairly new as well. He joined 4 games. It's fairly new, so he might have very heavy units. I wish the game could, like, if you're playing a very small map, just play with like guys that have experience, so that we know that it's a fair sort of fair match, in that we all have the same kind of units. Because these guys here, you get an advisor each time you complete the advisor missions. They can give you a tank, a heavy mech. They can even give you the late game Titan, can even give you a Titan. So, and that's a bomber. All right, let's see if my bomb plane here, yeah, as you can see, they are already set to approach and shoot down that particular target. The problem with this target is moving quite fast. 213 speed, that's quite fast. So I'm going to have to hold up my fire there, and then I'm gonna change the direction there in which they're going, send them back home. I'm gonna force march them quickly here so that they can get to my turf. Again, I'm trying to avoid engagements as much as I can. I don't want them touching my units at all. Okay, so force march does have an effect to your units. It's just that I'm not sure if it happens every minute. I think it happens in every minute. So a certain percentage is deducted because of course you are forcing them to march. So their health depreciates, and for you to recover that health you have to have them back inland. Now supremacy, is it 1814? Yeah, supremacy, not only did you have to have your units back at your own land, but it also mattered where in your land they were. If they are at a land where there is high moral, they get a very high HP boost, right? But if the moral there is low, then they don't. All right, so unfortunately our plan didn't work here. The enemies managed to catch up to my units, so now we are engaged. But again, I've got light tanks that shoots infantry, but the thing is I'm on defense, so I'm losing what, 5% there, no, 4%, 0.4% or 0.4 less damage, because I am in defense. I'm not attacking, I am in defense. And they are also hitting on my artillery here, which doesn't have much HP, 25 HP, but I'm trusting I'm gonna have that back. So 5 point what, 5.1, 5.2, no, it's not 5, 3, 29, 3, 25, 26, 27, 28, 28, so it's 8.1 that was taken in this particular engagement. So we're not gonna be turning back. We couldn't turn back, we got destroyed. That's why I like focusing fire on specific units. So had I had this artillery firing on one target, we could have avoided this altogether. But it's fine, my bomber should be coming up. Ooh, that takes some time. In 3 minutes that guy will be dead, and these guys, this coming attack should put that guy down, and then they'll push up, and then this guy will be triple attacked, and then we'll be closing that particular section there in that way. Right, all right, okay. So bombers are finished, artillery is done. We've got militia, sorry, got infantry going to take Pagosa Springs, and I also have a militia running here who's going to be taking that. So just to sort of fast track this whole thing here, because I'm not sure the plan of this dude here on top, so I'm gonna make that, oh, okay, not like that. Yeah, it's actually faster from there to there, so it's fine. All right, so they're about to capture that and try and quickly move on to that, but that dude should get there in 17 minutes. That guy will be there. 14 minutes those guys will be there. And yeah, Grands, we already have a infantry set up there. Health wise, these guys have dropped a little bit of health, but because they are back in the land, and the hour there's 58 minutes, so every day or in-game day, right, every 5 hours, that is, the HP of your units increase by 10%. That's if they are in your land. And again, I think if they are in your land, they get an extra HP boost. I'm not quite sure there, but that's the whole situation there. Is that um, whenever you set them on course, make sure that you set them on course for like at least 4 hours 30 minutes, and the other 30 minutes is that they are back within your land to get that HP boost. Okay, we don't have meds in this game. No med unit. I wish they could add that, but yeah, your unit don't have meds, medics, and you can't build like med facilities to boost them up quicker. You can use gold to boost them up, but it's quite ridiculous. As you can see here, they've dropped literally 0.6 HP, and to get a 0.6 HP back, you'll have to spend 135 gold. That's 0.6. So imagine if they've lost half of that damage. So the gold is very much ridiculous, right? So they kind of like say, don't use gold, which is fantastic. Don't use gold, right? That's one. Two is yeah, just get them back. Get them back as soon as you can. All right. So the movement that you're seeing now is that I've separated the light tanks, brought them over to those guys here. Oh yeah. Another thing is this: is that the units that can attack in one legion, if I can call it that, is only 6. So already have 4 infantry with the 2 light tanks coming there, it's 6. So that's a whole unit right there. That unit is able to give damage based on that. So the more units you put in there, apparently the less damage they can give out. And um, all other units that are not so strong all other units that are not so strong, they won't be doing any damage at all, right? So I do pick them up as far as 10. Right, I do pick them up. Yeah, I literally pick it up, but it'll be nice. Like it sort of becomes an annoying unit to destroy because you have to still deal with the HP. Though the other units are not doing any damage, but they are much HP that the unit has. As you can see, if I can click on this, the HP counts, the hit points count. See, it's 302 hit points. So the more units you put in there, that hit point just increases. So the more units that can stay in battle, I guess that's the logic there, is that at the end of the day you might destroy your enemy if he comes in there with his own 6 and you are coming there with 10. Yeah, you might destroy that dude. But again, stick to 6. Get a good format together. My format is 2 heavy mechs, 2 mech, and then 2 harpies. That's 6. That's full damage right on. And then the other 4, it's infantry. I could have infantry in there, I could have artillery in there. In this game I'm going to be having artillery in that. So what will happen is that the artillery will be moving along with the other guys. They will provide that damage from a distance, and when the enemy comes in to engage, he'll be met by the 3 powerful units there. That is now the the heavy mech that will take the damage. Let me just show you what I'm talking about here. This guy here, heavy mech, he'll be taking a lot of damage. And then of course the hunter, he'll be dealing with all hunter he does damage to mechs basically. All mech units, this guy's gonna put them down. And I would like to produce medium mechs, but I'd rather go for harpies. They do more. This is harpy now walking. I'm talking about a harpy walking, not the flying one. The flying one, we're going to be incorporating that with our bombers, but for now the walking one will be quite significant to have. They do a lot of damage to light armor or infantry units, better than the medium mech, and of course they cost more and so forth. But once you have that um, in your arsenal, you are good. You have a very tight now there. Another thing that I needed to check is diplomacy, coalitions. Do we have coalitions in the game, man? I'm certain to see that we do have coalitions. So Brazil is working together with Argentina, and then we got random person, Neo Inca and State of Quito. State of Quito, let's reveal this on the map, should also be in Southern America. Yeah, and Indo is this guys, right? So these guys have formed a coalition, and currently Brazil and Argentina here, they look tight for that Southern America. So with my presence really getting strong in this area, especially if I come and attack this part here real quick, and that will pose a threat to my neighbors, then they will flood in terms of partnering up with me, fearing the fact that I might be having an advantage on resources. Alright, so things are bad. We are on a negative 22 on unit production. Sorry, not unit production, but manpower production, which is not good. But that's all going to change when that guy dives in there. We're gonna have another 27 back, so -2 from that, so we got like 5. And then of course we've got recruitment offices that are ready to be built as well here. I'm not building one here, but I am building one there. It's gonna be a recruitment office here coming through, and I think we're going to be having a recruitment office here coming through shortly. Yeah, that'll be the second recruitment office running through to boost that thing there. And as you can see, the bomber is coming back here because I have started engagement here. And yeah, so I'm continuing where I left off, and I'm looking to see if I can cover get to this city within 30 minutes before the game changes. So in the first 5 hours of the game, AI is not so much aggressive, so they don't actually fight back. So once the day changes and you are engaging with AI will be moving around, actually, you know, creating a blockade or boosting up their troops, forming one big ball that is quite deadly. So the sooner you engage AI, the better. But at the same time, what that then does is affect your popularity. This year, popularity. Your global popularity is 41%. So this is determined by me having to, you know, be at war with other countries, with other players. That will cause the AI to be aggro, and you don't want that. So be careful when choosing your countries, not to be completely surrounded by AI. The benefit, you can always take down AI and not affect other players, because AI, we can say, it doesn't really produce very strong units. However, AI does produce smart light infantry units that can put you down. So the AI produces a lot of light tanks and infantries, a lot of those, and it then researches those units. So it does get a bit tedious to take down AI in the later part of the game. So yep, if you have one or two AIs, do engage them quickly, grab the land, and work on your resources for the next coming days. Don't engage more than that in a short space of time. Work on ensuring that your popularity remains above 39% at least, 39 upwards. If it gets lower than that, I have encountered a lot of wars coming through from AI. Alright, guys, bombers have gone out to destroy the infantry in the city of Salt Lake City. Is that in Utah? And that will be some quite significant damage coming out of that. Okay, their speed is quite incredible, 224, but we should be able to put a stop to that as I've got an infantry approaching at 53 knots there. But for them to get to, it's gonna tell me now, for there to get to a certain distance, how long it's gonna take them. My guys are gonna get there within 5 minutes because they are in this particular piece of land. As soon as we can capture it, it's gonna slow them up quite significantly, and hopefully at that time we'll have our artillery in range. Okay, as you can see now, we can see exactly where they're going. We can click on it and then it'll tell us they will get there in 3 minutes, which is quite faster than this. So I have to force march here, and that'll be 2 minutes. And look at them. Yeah, I'm gonna get there faster, but they're going to be in range of the artillery, and hopefully the artillery will put some more damage into them, slow them again, and yeah, we should have them dead by the time they get to our infantry. Alright, so these guys will be there within a minute, and 1 minute 17 seconds. This is, yeah, 50 seconds. And then of course, as you can see, the artillery is already hitting them. Hopefully in the next 55 seconds the artillery will do significant damage to these guys to get them dead. Something like that. Alright, so what we're gonna do is just give this guy the next target, which is to occupy that city. Alright, so good, we got it, and we're moving right ahead. They haven't engaged with the guys yet. Their speed is reduced to 48. Our speed is increased to 2.3. They are about to engage. They are going to engage in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Engaged. Artillery changes. They are almost dead, but they did do some damage. They did do some damage to our unit there. Let's see what we got. And we got a message here. Like I said, diplomacy, Salt Lake mine. Lol. Where's Salt Lake? Is this that Salt Lake? That's not how you do diplomacy. I write like a talk. Diplomacy. Oops. Must teach you manners. All right. So we have acquired waste Wendover. Looks like he's going to acquire that, no problem. And we're also going to be taking Logan. Should be. We are on route. Good. Gonna change the direction of that plane as well. See how important bombers are, guys. Quick stuff, man. Quick stuff. Occupying that land. Quick succession. And boom. Salt Lake City is acquired. And also we have acquired is it Windhoek? Logan. And Logan is acquired as well. Alright, so good. Put a stop on them horses there. Get that dude to go and shoot at that there. But I feel like he's going the wrong direction. It's gonna bring him back. Guys, turn back. It's got 2 medium max up and running. That's nice. And it looks like he has 2 of the what's this? Scouts. That's good. It's rolling with medium max. In fact, he has 3 medium max running. Alright, let's look at him. Let's look at him. Let's see. Level 36. He knows his thing or two. He's played 23 games. Hasn't won a single one of them. Okay. His kill ratio is 1.3. He's playing on mobile. Cool. And nothing else matters, I suppose. Cool stuff. My record also ain't something to write home about, but yeah. Yeah, it's nothing to write home about. 4% of PC. I've won 1 game. Coalition 17 games. Yeah, alright, that's fine. Cool, guys, we have done diplomacy. It came to us. And we have also acquired the land in which we wanted to acquire. Now we can focus on production. We wanted to capture all that land, but this guy seemed to have woken up. So now we're going to be focusing